Good afternoon and welcome to this learning video. So, in Microsoft Excel, I'm going to show you this feature that you probably aren't aware of. You use it in school a lot, but you may not recognize its usefulness when working in Microsoft Excel. For example, money growing on itself. Other words, compound growth. So anytime something grows on top of its previous growth, what we're doing is we're dealing with exponential or exponents. Compound interest on investments, year-over-year revenue growth. How about customer base growth in startup businesses? Or even population and market expansion, those trends. Well, if a company grows 20% a year for 3 years, how would you calculate that? You don't do 1.2 times 3. That's not 20% growth for 3 years. What is 1.2 to the third power. Aha! How about scaling costs or capacity? Well, when we scale a system, doubling one dimension often increases something else by the power. I'm reminded of warehouse storage. Doubling each side of a cube increases the volume by the third power. All right, I got a little help from that one, being the proud product of the Philadelphia public school system that I was. Here's another one. Manufacturing output. How about when machines or processes reach scale? How about in the IT infrastructure world, reaching server capacity? Well, this is why you should care about scaling laws. Costs do not grow linearly. Forecasting and trend modeling. I think analysts use exponential models when they want to accelerate sales, watch how website traffic surges. How about if there are any viral marketing spreads taking place? Or how about combinatorics? I'll say that word again, combinatorics. What that really does is it shows up constantly in our business decision making. Here's a couple examples. Possible product configurations, or password or security combinations, or ways to arrange employees on various ships, and possible outcomes, let's say, when making risk analysis. For example, if you got 3 choices for each of 4 steps, well, that's 3 to the 4th power, or 81 possibilities. Let's make it real simple. Let's use a lemonade stand. So you got a lemonade stand, and imagine you double the number of flavors of lemonade that you sell, and then each flavor can be sold by multiple cup sizes, and each size can be either iced or not iced. Well, then suddenly the number of menu combinations explodes, kind of like a balloon filling up with air. Well, that explosion is exponents at work, and that's what I'm going to dive into here with this simple example right here. So here we go. I want to find the result of the numbers to their power in this little miniature sheet. You'll also recognize that this is a table. It doesn't have to be, but it's recommended. And the way you know that it is a table in Excel is not the way it's formatted, but because there's the Table Design tab when I'm actually sitting inside the table. So here we go. Equals. Here's the drum roll. The name of the function is called, you guessed it, power. Now, the first argument is the cell that contains the number, comma, and just simply the second argument is the cell that contains what I want to take that number and raise it to the power. When I press enter, just like that. Now, I didn't know if you knew that any number to the 0 power has a value of 1, and any number that has a power of 1 is that same value, as you can see on the first 2 rows. Then you can see the other 5 as well. Pretty cool, huh? And there you go. There's the function. And again, it came up with the column names because it's a table. It's not using cell addresses. This makes a lot more sense and it's easier to follow. And as always, you can find me through email. It's my first and middle name, tomsven@ptd.net. I've got a lot more Excel functions and features and tips and shortcuts that I can show you. Not just Excel, but all of Microsoft Office. In fact, how would you like to join a neat little contest? I'm starting off with one for Excel. If you win, you get a gift card, and not a cheap little one either. If you come in first place, even if you come in second place, you would get a prize. I already have it put together. Just waiting for people to sign up. Maximum of 12 people at a time. Shoot me an email and I'll give you the details. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.